Curious Turn was a very popular temporary exhibition at the Heath Robinson Museum, and you can watch this if you missed it. A Curious Turn was an exhibition of automata, moving mechanical sculptures, which are brought magically to life through a sequence of cogs, cams, cranks and levers. For centuries they have delighted and bewitched people. Two related designs by William Heath Robinson are included in the exhibition. William Heath Robinson was one of the principal figures inspiring the revival of automata making. Works on show take a look at key automata makers such as Roland Emmett, Paul Spooner and Melanie Tomlinson. It was first in the 18th century that the scientific drive to replicate the natural world made the 1700s the golden age of automata production. John Joseph Merlin's Silver Swan, shown in this film but not in the exhibition, is an example of what was achieved. Automata were popular in the Victorian era. However, until the revival in the 1970s, automata were all but forgotten. Makers referenced craft makers such as Sam Smith, who was originally a painter, and whose decorative technique is shown in this exhibition. At the heart of the revival was Sue Jackson, the founder of Cabaret Mechanical Theatre. Recognising the potential popularity of these moving machines, Jackson encouraged a group of makers in Falmouth, Cornwall, Peter Markey, Paul Spooner and Ron Fuller, to make automata to sell in her local craft shop, Cabaret. This emerging group began to create a new style that took the genre away from scientific invention, placing it firmly within contemporary artistic culture. These makers did not attempt to create replicas of real life, often deliberately leaving their machines' mechanisms exposed to reveal how the automata work. Their aim was to create moving sculptures that reflect or satirically comment on the world around us, or that simply make us smile. The 1980s and 1990s were an exciting time for this renewed art form. Sue Jackson's Cabaret Mechanical Theatre continued to support a growing number of makers, including Keith Newstead, Tim Hunkin and Jan Zallad, all of whose work was exhibited in the exhibition. Although executed in different materials and styles, the illustrative work of the revivalists, with its emphasis on the human figure, had a lasting influence on subsequent makers. Many of the automata in this section convey a message, tell a story or entertain the viewer. Some, such as Rodney Pepe's piece, are intended for children. Others threaten punishment, like Carlos Zapata's tickling machine, while Keith Newstead's work sparks the imagination with fantastical inventions. By the turn of the 21st century, a new and distinct kind of automaton was beginning to emerge, that has continued to develop in recent years. Their machines reveal more similarities with the expensive curiosities of the 1700s and 1800s. Tim Lewis's drawing mule, for example, refers to Pierre-Jacques Droz's Reiter. These contemporary pieces also have strong sculptural or decorative qualities that may be admired with or without their mechanical movement. However, references to certain 20th century styles and techniques can still be seen in these works, and contemporary makers continue to use automata as storytelling devices. For example, illustration is central to Melanie Tomlinson's highly decorative sculptures and provides a starting point for her making process. This exhibition was fun for both adults and children were also able to make their own automata in the children's gallery at the front of the museum.